Ever since I left you, girl. See, ever since I left you, girl. The keys. Take it. Ever since I left you, you are my rainbow. I've been to hell and I'm back. You are my rainbow. You are my rainbow. In fact, I want to give you the keys to all that I got. You are my rainbow. Ever since I left you, I've been to hell and I'm back. Now my baby, I wanna give you all my body and soul. In fact, I want to give you the keys to all that I got. Girl, you're my star. You are my rainbow. Toasting. Lots of guys have been up to her, but she told them she was waiting for the one that God was sent to fulfill a kind of craving, a special kind of loving, one with lot of understanding. Come rain, come shining. People started to say that she wanted more than a Mr. Right. All that she wanted was a man that sees the light. They say she's a fool for being uptight, when all that she wants is good love, not be fight. Special kind of girl, hard to come by. This kind of girl, now I want to make my wife. You're the one, say no more. Don't bother about what the people say. As I say, every time that I look into your eyes, I see fire in there. Fire. And if you look into my eye, you see desire in there. Desire. And if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. Said if love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. Got a lot of respect for you, cause your kind is so rare. So rare. It's kinda hard to imagine, but I know you're out there. You're out there. And if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. If love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. She said to me, do you wanna be the last man standing? She said to me, do you wanna be the one of them complimenting? Oh yeah. Girl, I wanna be your beginning and your ending. Oh, I wanna be the only one that you be sending. I can't believe she's still a virgin. Lots of guys have been up to her, but there was no compromising. She be strong, she be keeping herself until the day of her wedding. Under the right ceiling, with the right person. A person deserving of a special kind of loving. Every time that I look into your eyes, I see fire in there. Fire. And if you look into my eyes, you see desire in there. And if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. Said if love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. Hey, I got a lot of respect for you, cause your kind is so rare. So rare. It's kinda hard to imagine, but I know you're out there. You're out there. And if love is a crime, then I want to be wanted. Said if love is a crime, I'm willing to be haunted. So keep the fire burning. Keep the fire burning, burning, burning. Fire burning. Keep the fire burning. Keep it burning, burning. Keep the fire burning, burning, burning. Fire burning. Keep it burning. Keep it burning. Even love is a crime, then I'd like to go jail. I said if love is a crime, then enjoy the ride. The unknown, I won't be afraid of. I'm just gonna relax and enjoy my life. Try to live it, try to appreciate it. Cause every breath I take, I'll feel the air. I'll take some time to smell the grass and the flowers. There's so much to live for here, I swear. I will bask in the sun and dance in the rain. Oh, I'll dance in the rain. I'll dance in the rain. Oh yeah. Oh, I'll dance in the rain. I'll dance in the rain. Take a deep breath and then come alive. There might be so many things you're missing out of. Try to know it, try to feel it here. It's your life here. Try to live it here. Forget about tomorrow, living today. Tomorrow will be fine, so don't let your worries take away the beauty of today. Just bask in the sun and dance in the rain. Oh, I'll dance in the rain. I'll dance in the rain. Oh yeah. Oh, I'll dance in the rain. I'll dance in the rain. Take a seat and relax on my brother, man. Love people from other lands and see them as one. If you believe you can fly, then why don't you try? Instead of doubting yourself, living in negative vibes, get up and say yes you can. And appreciate the simple things like the mountains and trees, and the land and the trees, and the flowers and leaves. Air that you breathe, a wonderful world, a wonderful world. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, in the rain, dance in the rain, oh yeah, oh, I'll dance in the rain, I'll dance in the rain, oh yeah.
Close marking.
It's CT on the
The
beat.
party no go nice if girls no day. If girls no day. The party no go nice if girls no day. If girls no day. The party no go sweet if girls no day. If girls no day. The party no go soft if girls no day. Girls no day. Teresa, call am. Amaka, call am. Jennifer, call am. Abena, call am. Akosua, call am. Kafaya, call am. Amaka, call am. The party no go nice if girls no day.
Put up if my sausage first. Lie, it cannot make sense. I forgot Gigi, she too like Mola. Oh boy, that's a kid. Fuck.
Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah.
Go funk killer.
This is another Tolio for my man. Make I tell you waiting happen for a bullet. Body's big party inside my bullet. I went there with my best friend Kule. Kule they there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule. I just the one that say which can party yeah. Everything yakba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys and they like to throw away. Almost go be. We just having fun. We won't Gideon. Crazy guests like Meg the Stallion.
Anyway, I thought you was a G, but you're any snake. I swear that you can't come around my estates. And I go on like say you're bad and brave, because where me come from and I'm moving bait. And they got the whole block knocking jakes. So if none of you man give me space, I'll show you about knocking on heaven's gates. Heaven's gates.
What's it gonna be? It's not the hour you come finally. Mr. Badabashi, will you come pick me up? And you guarantee when it's time to make a start, you'll be on my team. Just taking off, saying 1, 2, 3. It's not up on me.
Anyway, boy violate, let the semi-spray me at the undisputed heavyweight champion till me cool and very great. You must have things that you're better than ISIS. Now you got a few little devices. You must not know who my guys is, cause if you did, you would have never ever come try this. Take out the mices, we did your pliers. Come in and say them I breathe with the mices. So me cock it and I breathe and realize this. So me call up Lily to harmonize this. Can't dismiss this. Anyway, I thought you was a G, but you're any snake. I swear that you can't come around my estates. And I go on like say you're bad and brave, because where me come from and I'm moving bait. And they got the whole block knocking jakes. So if none of you man give me space, I'll show you bad knocking on heaven's gates. Say me bad, where me come from look like Baghdad. Telling you. Even I like the day when Lily telling you. Them finna say burn a ranking, him stand no regular. This a Ross war, them boy, then a ready for. Don't know the man, them me par with no regular. Me par with drug peddler, par with them peddler. From your violate a gunshot in your head and a cup in a like I didn't read. That's when I settle for guns and artillery start get heavier. Yo, you know what's in the holes in your brain. Can't violate, can't bread in. War can't done in. Them finna say I not running. That gon' make me bust my gun in. Something get burning. I not like pagan in. Them finna me bad from me young in. Me bad anyway. Boy violate like the semi-spray. You could've got away, but now it's very late. Got figures end up in the grave like every day. I always was the youth with the scary face. Man, I move wicked in my estates. So if none of you man give me space, I'll show you about knocking on heaven's gates.
Exclusive to JohnBiz.com.
And I don't ever wanna see you cry, baby. And I don't ever wanna see you go. And I don't ever wanna see you sad. And I don't ever wanna see you cry, baby. And I don't ever wanna see you go. And I don't ever wanna see you sad. Superwoman, gradually I go love you. Gradually I go love you. Gradually I go love you. Superwoman, I go love you. Gradually I go love you. Gradually I go love you. Gradually I go love you. Superwoman, I go love you.
Exclusive to JohnBiz.com.
Baby, you're my everything. You know, see, I go fit to give you anything. Chinny in the lamb down with you, I can always grant your wishes. I know you've seen a lot of shit, but I never want to see you go through it again. We
We fight and we argue till we cross that bridge. You mean the world to me. The girl of my fantasy, most beautiful girl in the world. It is you that I want, that I need. And baby, you don't even know how much I love you. Love you. And I don't ever wanna see you cry, baby. And I don't ever wanna see you go. And I don't ever wanna see you sad. Oh, Superwoman.
I see you later. I see you later. 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 See you later.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
The Lagos State Government, through Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, is partnering Eko Innovation Centre to facilitate meter design hackathon that will develop an affordable and smart metering system, leveraging local talent. 7 million naira to be won by the winning teams. We are calling all Lagosians to come watch the hackathon live from Wednesday 16th to Friday 18th of September 2020 as we pick the final winning teams. Register via this link to be part of the event: www.lagosmartmeter.com/event/sponsors. I see Lagos, where electricity flows from.
Good morning. Please let's avoid walking across the room. If you must get to the front, let's walk through the corners of the room to avoid interrupting the live transmission. A big thank you to everyone who has come very early this morning. Today is day 2 of the Lagos Smart Meter Hackathon. We'll be starting in about 8 minutes. That's 11 a.m. on the dot. Please note that this session is being recorded. So please let's ensure that our phones are on silent or vibrate mode. If we do need to take our phone calls, we can excuse ourselves. As I said earlier, let's try to avoid walking in the middle. We'll just use the corners of the room if we must exit the doors or come to the front. Still with our phones, would love for you to engage with us. Like I mentioned, today is day 2, so there's already some engagement online. You can check us out on social media, Lagos Smart Meter on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as LinkedIn, and LASG Smart Meter on Twitter. When you're posting, we have 3 different hashtags: Lagos Smart Meter. We also have Made by Lagos and hashtag Lagos Hackathon, because it is a hackathon. Yesterday was for the hardware participants, 5 of them, and today 5 participants in the software team will be presenting. Yesterday again, it was 7 million naira, and today, or by the end of the hackathon yesterday, it went up by 8 million. And since we're in the home of our diamond sponsor, where there's lots of money in Access Bank, who knows, it might just go up to 10 million naira. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, but it's really great to see corporates as well as private sector collaborating to help the society. I mean, we all know how a tech-enabled society is key to making Lagos that 21st century economy. So we'll soon be starting the event, but I can see people are still on their phones, and I do hope you've taken some pictures, recorded some videos, you're posting, you're engaging, and we want to say a big thank you to our distinguished panel of judges who have come out all bright and early. They did a marvelous job yesterday, even stayed over time just to ensure that the decision-making process was very, very thorough, and I have no doubts that today it will not be any different. So I'm looking at the time, probably in another 4 minutes or so, we'll be starting the event.
Yeah. Mr. Rebel, Mr. Rebel, are you there? Are you talking to me? Are you calling to me? Fall in my arms, Mr. Rebel. Come in my yard, Mr. Rebel. Yeah. Mr. Rebel, are you there? Are you on me? Are you scared? Are you in? Are you out? What do you want? What do you say to me now? Falling, you're falling behind. Finally gone, I'm the one with the winning prize. I be the gun on the run, I be shooting down. I'm the sound on the ground, I'm the winning sound. I'm the crown, I'm the vibe, I'm the leading vibe. You move me to my mind. I've been out, I've been at the other side. You take me out, I know you to be my friend. I've been down, I've been out now. Flying over the moon, I've been under the sun, and I didn't find nobody like you. No, I didn't find nobody like you. Mr. Rebel, are you there? Are you listening? Rebel, are you there? Are you still in the garden? Are you there? Are you playing in the darkness? Are you out, Mr. Trouble? Are you there? Are you listening? Trouble, are you there? Are you still in the garden? Are you there? Are you playing in the darkness now? Mr. Rebel, are you there? Are you running to me? Are you coming to me? Fall in my arms, Mr. Rebel. Come in my yard, Mr. Rebel. Yeah. Mr. Rebel, are you there? Are you on me? Are you scared? Are you in? Are you out? Who do you love? Who do you call and get down? Falling, you're falling behind. Finally gone, I'm the one with the winning prize. I'm really gone on the run, I be shooting down. I'm the sound on the ground, I'm the winning sound. I'm the crown, I'm the vibe, I'm the leading vibe. You move me to my mind. I've been down, I've been at the
So we have
other
about
side. You
minutes to
take
settle
me out.
down, and just to prepare, we do want to keep to time. So I'll give the cue to the sound team when it's 11 so we can start with the national anthem. It is exactly 11 a.m. and I believe we've all settled down. I'll just give the cue to the audio team for the national anthem, and I'd like for all of us to be on our feet as we take the national anthem. Please, we may take our seats. Good morning, the Honorable Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Lagos State, Mr. Olalere Odushote. The Special Advisor to the Governor of Lagos State on Innovation and Technology, Mr. Tubosun Alake. Special Advisor to the Governor of Lagos State on the Sustainable Development Goals and Investments, Mrs. Sholakwe Hammond. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Lagos State, Mr. Ahmed Mustafa. All other directors here present. Founder, Eko Innovation Centre, Mr. Victor Benga Folabi. Advisory Board Member, Eko Innovation Centre, Mrs. Doja Ikeruche. Our diamond sponsor, Access Bank. I believe this is a good place to put our hands together for them, specially. Thank you for hosting us. Our gold and silver sponsors, our partners, our distinguished panel of judges, participating teams, members of the fourth realm, ladies and gentlemen, and our online audience joining us on YouTube and Facebook. A good morning to you. My name is Isabella Akinsheye, and I'll be your host for today. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to day 2 of the Lagos Smart Meter Hackathon. Day 1 was a blast, and I can say so confidently because not only did the teams from the hardware come and impress us, they did such a good job that one of the judges decided to add an extra ₦1 million to the prize money, taking it from 7 million naira to 8 million naira. That's a testament of a great day. Indeed, a round of applause for the Lagos Smart Meter Hackathon. We believe we're getting a step closer to closing the metering gap, which is estimated to be 60% in Lagos, 60%. We believe that a brighter Lagos, where electricity is constant and affordable through the provision of smart meters, indeed is a smarter Lagos. And this is in line with the 21st century economy agenda of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. So for the non-techies, what is a hackathon? Well, it's a hack fest, a code fest, a portmanteau of hacking marathon. It's a design sprint-like event in which computer programmers, software developers, graphic designers, interface designers, project managers, domain experts all collaborate intensively on software and hardware projects. The goal of a hackathon is to create functioning software or hardware by the end of the event. And in our case, we're looking at an affordable smart meter. Can we do it? Do you believe we can do it? We need more engagement. Can we do it? Yes, we can. In July 2020, the Lagos Smart Meter was launched. And believe it or not, we received 274 registrations, 274 entries. 127 in the hardware category, and 147 in the software category. However, only 65 prototypes were submitted by applicants. The shortlisting process was done by 19 judges with expertise in power and the tech ecosystem. And like I said, it's a whopping 8 million naira up for grabs. But beyond that, there's mentoring, there's the opportunity for rapid prototyping and really developing the tech ecosystem. Now, we do want you to be a part of today's event by engaging with us on social media. I said it earlier on, but I'll repeat our social media handles. Lagos Smart Meter on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And for Twitter, it's LASG Smart Meter. And when we're taking our videos and posting our pictures, let's use our hashtags. Hashtag Lagos Smart Meter, hashtag Made by Lagos, and hashtag Lagos Hackathon. And at the time of your convenience, I encourage you to visit the website, www.lagossmartmeter.com. So today's event, and indeed the 3-day event, is made possible by our sponsors. I mentioned earlier that we're in the home of our diamond sponsor. Yes,
today. So we had the hardware yesterday. We were very impressed. The discos here present were also as impressed as we are, and they are experts, so they should know. So what I'm expecting is no less than that from the software side. And I would encourage us to get engaged, look at what it is they have to offer, and then see how we can integrate it into our future. We're trying to solve our own problems by ourselves, as the Access Bank KD has said. And I would welcome you to join us, because for us, this is just a start. It's not a once and done. After this event is over, we will take the products through a prototyping. We will take the product to a commercial development process, and we will take the products to a commercial development process. So we're not just doing a hackathon for the sake of it. We're looking for solutions that will make Lagos a 21st century, contributing to making Lagos a 21st century economy by the end of the day. I would like to thank Access Bank especially again for being so generous, for participating with us. I would also like to thank our other sponsors for joining us in this journey. We're all in Lagos, and we all want to make Lagos State a greater place. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Commissioner, well said. So at this point, it's time for our hackathon. The teams will have 10 minutes to present, and this time I'll be very, very accurate with my timekeeping. 10 minutes to present, and I believe an additional 10 minutes for questions and answers, and then it will be time for the next participant. So the first team that will be presenting, Team Magnetronics. Team Magnetronics will be coming to present, and as they make their way here, we would like for you to continuously engage with us, and you can do that through our social media platforms. As mentioned, this session is being recorded, so if you do miss out on anything, you can always go back to the recording and you can watch it and get all the information you need. And of course, tomorrow, day 3 concludes with the presentation of prizes to whoever emerges winner. So I believe we're ready for Team Magnetronics. This will be a good time to just show some love to our sponsors. You can say a big thank you to our partners on social media and to government for actually doing something. A lot of times we say we go on Twitter to complain, but when government does something, it's important that we appreciate them. Private sector coming together with government to better our lives. We all know what we can do with 247 power. And we say we want to be in a tech-enabled society, and we can only do that through constant and affordable power. So please, let's take pictures, let's record videos, let's post and use our hashtags, hashtag made by Lagos, hashtag Lagos Hackathon, and hashtag Lagos Smart Meter. I believe I can see Team Magnetronics, so please can we put our hands together for the representative of Team Magnetronics.
Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, panel of judges, and everybody here. My name is Philip Nguzo, and I'm with my colleague, Mr. Tunji Raphael, both from Team Magnetronics. I will be presenting our hardware and software track. And while I set up, I'll hand over to him to just.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Saz. Good morning, Ma. And good morning, panel of judges. My name is Tunji Raphael, Team Magnetronics. I grew up in Nigeria. It was an opportunity which I believe quite a number of us also had. I grew up in an estate where my dad, who was an engineer, would always say, at this particular time of the month, get the stool, climb up, and pick the readings on the meter, and ensure that you enter it into a 2B notebook called NEPA note. And so we did that as we grew up. Now it became like a culture in my house. All right. Now, Nigerians are lovers of football. I want to agree that. I want to believe that you all agree. Right. Most times when Nigeria is playing in a match, you can hear from almost every household around. When the ball goes into the net of the opponent, there is that, yeah, yes. And then suddenly, NEPA takes light. The same way you hear, and then all the curses that can come to NEPA. And then maybe another 10 minutes, power is restored. And then you hear, of NEPA. It's one of those things we have experienced all our lives as Nigerians. Okay. The cheering will not be as loud and as high as when NEPA comes at the end of the month with bills to say, this is your bill. You enjoyed the football match, didn't you? This is your bill. And then everybody goes, no, this is not what I used. No, how can you show it to me? No, and then the stories and all the stories. Eventually, people will still have to pay. Okay, and while growing up, I had the opportunity of having a young guy who was living in the same estate, the next block to ours. Ade was my classmate in secondary school. We have another here. All right. So, we have two Ades. Okay, I'm also Ade Tunji. Right. So, Ade and I were in the same class. Ade would come back from school and would stay in our house. So one of these days, he was in our house, and then we had the security in the estate shouting, fire, fire. And what happened, we rushed out, and getting there, it was Ade's flat that was on fire. We tried, everybody came, and then they were saying, so where is your mom? Mommy has gone to the market. Where is mommy's market? Some 5 kilometers away. Okay, can we call her to come in? She needs to switch off something in here. Mommy didn't come back on time. The fire moved from Ade's flat and then engulfed the other 5 flats, the other 5 buildings on that block. That day we felt if Ade's mom were around, she would have switched up that power from the source and maybe would have saved the remaining 5 households, the hassle. Right. But it didn't end there. NEPA people will always come. We need to check for infringement. We need to be sure that you are not cutting corners. And then people will say, if you climb that pole, we'll make sure you don't come down. Some will release dogs, some will release crazy animals. But then we looked at all of this and all the interplays around the stakeholders in power, and we decided to present something, our software. This software wouldn't have allowed my dad telling me to climb up the stool again and again, because the software we have, you can see all the readings of your meter from the software. Ade's house wouldn't have burnt and then caused trouble for the remaining 5 households if the mom can, from her hand device, switch off the power supply to the house. Our device, our software has that. Now, they won't come and say, no, this is not my bill, if they had my software, because our software will show you real-time your power consumption from your phone. So we present to you a solution that would also help NEPA to get their people out of the harm's way. They will look through and check from their end, and they'll tell you, okay, someone is infringing, someone is destroying by merely looking at their own software. So we have that. So today we present to you Eddie's customer software and Eddie's utility software. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope the technical people can switch over to my screen. so that we can present the software. Okay. Now, this customer electricity management application, we have the control dashboard for the utility, and then we have the mobile version for the electricity customer. And like he said, we want to maintain a culture where the customer of electricity will maintain transparency of energy, of data, billing, and vending with the utility. And I'm still waiting for the technical to switch over to my screen. So, the laptop. All right. Okay, while they try to set us up, the electricity customer mobile application is available on Android Play Store. It's an Android platform, which I also have on my mobile device. We'll try to set up a Zoom setting session within ourselves so that we can have it shared on the screen, so that it can also go to the screen for the judges to see it on the screen. But it's obvious I cannot set up the Zoom on their own system. So, but I'm going to show if there's a way we can actually see the mobile app for the customer through my phone. Our link is here. Okay, no, I have the link. Talking on Zoom, yeah, can set up a Zoom. That's why I wanted to use this system. Okay, I'm trying to launch the control panel for the utility, the energy supplier. It is magnetronics.com/control panel. Okay, so I'll log in with the user IDs and password that we have provisioned for this meeting.
Okay, is this it?
Yes.
Have you found it? This is the link, this one.
Okay.
All your links are.
Yeah.
Can
Then
I
the password. Yeah.
I can go.
Yes. All right. So I log in with the password.
To get the camera to focus on
The camera. Okay. I don't know. I think it's the browser.
Why is it muddled up?
Let me try another browser. I think the browser modeling it up or something. we use the system, please?
We need to walk.
Hmm?
We need to walk from here.
Where is this one? I didn't bring the camera.
Okay. She's not taking it. He's not picking it. They are not bringing camera for this one. We can slow it down. So this is nothing of this. This is what is
Can't we project with you? Can't we project with this? Yes, if we can project with this.
Well, it's not working now because this was already tested yesterday.
Extend that.
Do I need to talk? So is it the system is modeling on the site. The site is supposed to show the story, but it's showing a different way. So like a duplicate. Who is modeling? Oh, okay. So okay. Okay, so let's get. Or if we get, yes, they need to put the projector on this. No, projector on the other laptop. It's not working. No, it's not working here. Yeah, it's modeled up. This is how it should show. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
It's HDMI, it's same HDMI cable.
So what's the problem? Just L. Project.
Yeah.
Control L. Yeah.
We could have done it.
Is your screen size that's too big now?
No.
Okay, have you logged in?
Yes, we've logged in here. That is, it's modeling the whole thing now. Except if the camera will focus on this, and we do it straight from here.
We do apologize for the small break in transmission, but we're working very hard. We do apologize for the small break in transmission, but we're working very hard to fix it. It has to do with the projection of the screens, but at this point, not to waste any more time, we might just be inviting the cameraman to come and take the actual footage directly from the screen due to some incompatibilities with the technology here. So we'll make do with that, and hopefully the next presentation won't have the same issue, but I guess this is thinking on the feet.
So which of them is coming? Which of them is coming? Oh,
And to all our participants, let's remember that this session is being live streamed. People are participating via Zoom as well as Facebook and YouTube. So we need you to be audible. If at any point maybe the microphone is not working, I'll give you my microphone and you'll be able to speak. So let's remember it's not just the people in the room you're speaking to, but you're speaking to indeed a global audience online.
Why don't you use laptop?
Just step us focus it.
It's probably not gonna work because the screen is gonna be
So we'll try this to see.
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna work. I told you this was when you're gonna be seeing. I just did it because so you see it. And a good day, I'm not gonna come here. It's not gonna show. This is what you're gonna be saying.
Yes, it's
Tell them to cut this.
So we're going to try with the camera to see if we can get a good image on screen. So the IT team, please can we change the feed to the camera here? Cam 3, please.
Okay, we'll manage it then.
So I believe we can manage this, and hopefully by the next presentation, we might be able to sort out the compatibility issue.
This okay. So the dashboard, we have the tab for the dispensers. Now the dispenser, we do not call it meter. It's actually meter, but we've gone ahead to name the electricity the devices. We call them dispensers because they are innovative IoT-based devices that communicate with the platform to manage the customer electricity and then assist the customer in solving a lot of the challenges that they have experienced up to date in the electricity system. So on the landing page, I have a map showing all the meters that are installed in the field across the country. And if you can hear a sound, I can see there on the left side of you see a dashboard, you see a notification telling us about some meters that have been attempted to be tampered in the field. Now, this display or this dashboard is meant to be in the control utility room, in the utility control room, where somebody is constantly behind the system monitoring all the meters that have been installed in the field. Now, in an advent of an attempt to tamper on any of these devices, now the device will communicate to the platform server and then it will pop up a notification on the screen, just like we are seeing. Now, this will not go off until I treat them or mark them as treated. So let me do that so that we can have a smooth flow after now. All right. Okay, so here we have the map showing the devices on the field. We have the devices on the field, and a lot of the devices, any number of the devices that's installed. Now, on this bar, I can actually, if I know the ID of any dispenser, let's say dispenser 1, I can actually focus on any of the dispensers to get information about it. All right, so you can see now this is, I'm focusing on a meter right now, and I can see information about the meter. On this left pane, I have a graph that shows me the status of the meter, the energy load flowing through, the customer's consumption, and the power, the energy consumption, the phase distribution of the customer, and then the customer's account, the customer details on the dispenser. Okay, and now this system is designed in such a way that it can automatically communicate with the hardware on the field. For example, the utility, one of the things that the EDIS tries to eradicate is the practice of the utility companies or the workers going to the customer's premise with a ladder to disconnect their supply in the case of a non-payment. Now, this platform allows the utility to be able to do that automatically. Maybe if the customer goes on credit low or deficit on credit, the system disconnects the supply automatically. But for any reason, consciously as well, the customer can actually be disconnected from this place, from this console, by typing the ID of any customer or the account number of the customer. I can search out the customer, and then details about the customer, the account number, the tariff code, the energy balance on the customer's account, the current voltage experience, and then the NERC, CIN, details about the customer. Now there's a switch there, down the toggle button, where I can actually toggle off the customer supply. So if I toggle that, the customer's supply will have the customer will have been disconnected from the electricity service. Okay, and then on the next tab we have reports. Now this system, it can actually generate reports of. Okay, so the report, you can generate report about every information that you need about the device. Okay, we have the hardware. We did not come in for the hardware presentation, but this they can have every. If you want to see the hardware, we can actually bring it out for us to see now. But the device is in such a way that it communicates every information that we need from the device is available on this server. Information such as tamper report, vending report, like we can see it, infraction report, and I can actually go over to a previous date and get a report of probably vending of my customers as an electricity supplier, and then from, let's say, from this date to this date, and I can generate a vending report. A report of all the customers. Okay, so this is actually this is actually activities, vending activities that was done on the mobile app. Now we'll take us through the mobile application, and you see the interface where the customer will be able to vend their electricity, their energy supply. Okay, since we are focusing with the camera, I could quickly open the customer mobile application where the customer can actually manage their electricity supply. Now, as an electricity customer, this is my information. I'm set up on the system. My account details are there on the mobile application. And then, can I go back? Okay, so I can see the details about the energy that I've consumed, or that my meter is consuming over time. Okay, so what we have there, see, units consumed over a period and the approximate energy in kilowatt hours. Okay. So then vending on the customer mobile app, customers can actually manage their vendings as well. So from this screen, I can see all the vendings that I've done as a customer. I can see my vending history. And of course, in case I run out of energy balance, I can click this button down here to top up my electricity account. Let me say I'm going to vend 5,000 today. I do that, and okay, it takes me to a platform where I can enter my card details. It's integrated with a payment gateway that automatically tops up the electricity customer's account. So by the time I put in card details and everything, so my bank account will be debited and my electricity account will be credited. All right. Okay, so subscription. Now, this system is innovative. We are trying to create a culture that exists in the telecommunication industry, where you can actually subscribe for data, and maybe you want to buy airtime, internet browsing data. You buy 2 GB of data, and it runs like a subscription. So the ED system is meant to introduce that culture into the power system, whereby electricity supply can actually subscribe to electricity service in terms in terms of in the subscription-like manner, like you do in data. So I can say I'm subscribing for 1,000 kilowatts of electricity that will take me valid for 1 month, or 500 kilowatts of electricity valid for 2 weeks and all that. So this module helps the customer to be able to do that. And then the next is billing. Now we have seen on the first screen, on the previous screen, where the customer is able to see the history of his energy. And as the meter is working in the customer's apartment, the energy is also being put to the system, to the platform. Now this mobile app is connected to the platform server where the meter also reports to. And that's why the customer is able to see the history of the internet. It's gone off. Okay, let me continue with this one.
All right, so let me take it off from here. We're having challenges with the internet connectivity. All right, so still on the customer app, the customer side of the app, where this is also customers can interact directly with their usage. They can, like we said, they can recharge, top up their energy using the banking gateway. So also, it talked about the subscription. So we're looking at a situation where people can say, I need power to be supplied to my apartment between so time of the day to so time of the day, every day or every week or every month. However, that's okay. So let's go to the dashboard. I explained earlier that it was possible for you to check what is on your meter screen directly from your UIU, or sorry, your mobile app. Okay. All right. So here, what you see here, up here, you have what would have been on the screen of your meter. So it shows you exactly what amount you have left on your electricity credit. Okay. And then, of course, it shows some other parameters, the amperage, the voltage, and then the lines, which you can see here. Now, you see off here, which shows that up here, you see an icon there that is showing off, meaning that the supply to your house, or to your house is out. Okay, now coming down here, you have something called the network, of course, network that the customer is on. If the person is on Eko, yes, you see Eko. If the person is on Ikeja, you see Ikeja, depending on where. Now, the supply state here, that is where Mama Ade could have switched off the supply to her house. And so, if she was called, Mama Ade, your house is burning. She quickly does this, and the connection to network, charges may apply, well, and then, okay, automatically, in less than a minute, as a result of the okay, shows operation successful, as a result of that trigger, power out, as in the supply to that apartment is totally shut out until, of course, whatever the issue is rectified. And of course, you can see here the peak energy, the amount that is given or that is passed out of the peak energy. You can see the last amount that the customer burned. Okay. Also, there is average consumption in a billing cycle. Now, we designed this such that, okay.
Okay. So, before wrapping up now, okay, wrapping up, we have seen that you can actually generate a lot of reports, and you have the option of downloading reports from the system. Then on the admin, you can manage your customers. You can manage your customers, see the customers' details, and then you can manage your tariffs. You can manage your dispensers or your units or your meters. Internet.
Let's move on. Oh. The internet. Okay, hold on. Continue. Okay, so let's move on. Just stop.
All right, so I don't know, we're having challenge with the internet currently right now. But on the dashboard allows you to manage your tariff. Now, I would like to mention that the EDIS allows flexible tariff plan that can be based on time use of the time band in a day. In contrast to what we currently have, where a customer is fixed on one tariff. Now, but in advanced country, in advanced system, you can have different tariffs for different peak period and off-peak period. Now, this software allows you or the electricity utility to set different tariff for different periods of peak period, whether whether the time of the day or maybe it's peak period. And so the billings is, another thing is the billing of this, the platform billing is centralized on the server, unlike on the meter, unlike what we have on the token system where you type in 20-digit number and then the billing is done on the meter. Now, but the ED system, the billing is actually done centrally on the server. And that is why it's possible for you to apply dynamic tariff, fluid tariff that does not follow a particular pattern. So it can be by time band, by peak period and off peak period. And they're like, okay, so the network is back. Okay, so look at the tariff here.
So
you can
we'll
set
have
your different
to
tariff.
round this up. I was
Okay.
very generous with time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Magnetronics. I know it's tech.
It's okay.
We do have some downtime in the tech world, but we're working very hard to ensure that there's a smooth presentation. We'll be trying various options, making sure that the laptop connects properly to the screens and trying the projectors as well. So right after their questions and answers, we'll have about a 5 minutes tech break just to make sure everything goes smooth. So please, let's bear with us and the tech team. But now it's time for questions and answers. And don't worry, even if the tech didn't play along, this is a good opportunity for you to really explain and let our judges know what the capability of your software is. So we'll start with the questions. It should work.
Same power. Hello.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Magnetronics, well done. I mean, even in spite of all the hiccups, you were quite calm.
Thank you.
That is a plus for you, actually.
Thank you.
You were quite calm.
Thank you.
I didn't get to see a bit of it because it was blurred and all that, but I was listening, so I spent more time listening. And I heard some of the things I wanted to hear, especially when it had to do with the billing aspect and all. However, I just want to ask two questions. I had to even write them down. One, your software platform, does it conform to any global interoperability? You understand what I'm saying? Which ensures that it can manage meters from different vendors. That's very important because I'm not aware of any disco that exactly has one vendor. So can your platform actually handle that? And then again, how scalable is your platform in terms of meter volume? So we don't have, discos don't have a particular meter across their network. So how scalable is your platform in terms of meter volume that it can manage? So what numbers of meters, at what point in time in that volume can your software manage without having issues, without having hiccups, without having downtimes at every time? How much of that can it manage at the same time? So it's important. We have to discuss here, so it's something that we would really like to hear that work for us. Thank you very much, and well done again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I'll start with the second question. The question about the capacity or how scalable the system, the platform is. Now, okay, we designed the system in such a way that you can, the back end it's on cloud. The back end is on cloud, and it's such a way the platform is scalable. So as the resources are being required, the system or the platform releases resources, the bandwidth, the RAM size, and the disk space that is required as the system grows. Okay, so because we know we're starting from quite a number of meters on the platform right now, but as the system grows, the platform also enlarges itself automatically. That's the scalability to engulf or to be able to accommodate any number of incoming meters, because by the time the system is in operation in top speed, you have a lot of meters coming in daily, and before you know it, in less than 1 year, you can be running into millions okay, the current database of electricity customer in Nigeria is 20 million. And we are building the system to be able to accommodate something, nothing less than 10 times of that. Okay, and then to the first question, interoperability. Now we've connected this system to be able to talk to Google Cloud Platform. So if we have meters or other vendors that can also talk to this common platform that our system can also interface with, then I think we are good to go. And another thing, the design is also flexible, such that we can also sit together at any point in time to say, what are your specifications? What do you need us to put into this system, and so that you can have a smooth interoperation? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any more questions? Okay. Yes, just.
Hello? Okay. Thank you. So well done, Magnetronics.
Thank you, sir.
So my question is around your proof of concept, whether or not you've had a testing experience, and if you could talk a bit about that and what your outcomes look like.
All right, thank you so very much. Some months back, precisely June, we approached a particular estate in this Lagos to say we have a solution, because we actually know that they had a particular problem with dividing the energy usage and billing the people in the estate. So this estate takes power from public utility, and then they also run some generators. So they said they don't know that they've been having issues with billing individual. People will tell you that, why will you say, how can you prove to me that this is the amount I used? So we told them, what we have, hardware and software, can do this. So they said, come and try it. So we went to the estate and we set it up. So we had a POC. It ran for 2 days. For the first day, they were able to see each person whose house or whose apartment we hooked up to this. We're able to see the usage. They could see the consumption pattern. They could see all of that. But somewhere along the line, which I have to say, we had an issue with the modem that was doing the communication with the server. So I think it was the power, because so the unit we deployed was a 15-channel unit, which was meant to service 5 3-phase apartments. So it worked until that the modem broke down. And so we eventually realized that, so we needed to pump in some power, although we did our calculations and we thought it was fine. But eventually we decided to bring in another modem and then to power that. We've not gone back, but we are in talk with them. Thank you.
Okay. No? Well, it's not working now.
It's not working.
Okay.
Right.
I'll try to be. Thank you. I'll try to be quick. There's always something Magnetronics. I always like rooting for. I like rooting for number one, whether it's by choice or by draw. Especially in these situations, there has to be points for it. I think you did fantastic and well in terms of being able to just manage the pressure of technical issues that we're having. And try to get your information out there as best as possible. As a disco, I noticed you have an app that is, both for utility and even more importantly for users. So for the consumers of electricity. When you think of this era that we're in, which is this service level tariff regime, a lot of users would find what you're doing very relevant. But you're also in a case where, you have apps come a dime a dozen now. It's probably a little easier to search for an app than search for a person. Once you start to type what the app means. So what you're doing, a lot of people are doing it. I was looking for a bit of innovation. So in very quick terms, I wanted you to talk about where do you see your device interface? People are installing all kinds of meters, all kinds of equipment, all kinds of appliances in their homes. Are you making sure? How does your app speak to just a serial number on the back of an equipment? Can it get you the information you need? Things like all this, your units consumed. I also wanted to know, how are you different from everybody in terms of innovation? And when I say that, I mean user friendliness or user relevance. So in Nigeria today, I'll give you a tip. Everything you've done today, how could you become different? Are you going to use local languages? Are you going to use Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, languages in the country to your app? Because again, users span across board. Remember, the phone companies have figured out how to sell the same phones that have pictures and video from 5,000 naira all the way to millions of naira. So I want to just know, how do you stand out differently? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me start with the last question that talked about what we're planning, if we are planning to ensure that our apps, both for the customers and for the utility, will be rendered in Nigerian languages. While we believe in innovation, and I will tell you this at no cost, we have not done that, but we are robust enough to get it done. If you say that, okay, by tomorrow, bring it. We might not be able to bring it tomorrow, but we tell you that in a few weeks' time, we can do that and get it done. It's code, we'll write it and we'll make it happen. That we can do. So a lot of what we have put into what we have were as a result of interactions between different stakeholders, researches, and then experiences we've had. So like you said, thank you, sir. It's a good input, and I can assure you, if this flies, you see it in Yoruba. We'll be telling you, Ekaro, Kilefeshi. And of course, it can tell you, good night, it's time to go and sleep. We can do that. Okay? On innovation, what are we doing differently? So we believe strongly that you don't need to climb up and check what is on your meter screen. We people have been doing that. The more people have access to that meter, if they tell you want to go and check what is there, they will bypass. So we are saying, put the meter somewhere away and have the screen on the user that's on the software. Let people be able to, so anybody that goes up there climbing will now come and tell you if it's a monkey or if has something that he left there. So that's one thing we're looking at, that you don't need to go up there. Everything you need as a customer or as a utility, you have it on the software. So that's one of the things we're saying, as much as possible, no interaction with the physical meter. Then on the recharging, when you are topping up, I am on one of the networks here in Lagos. I know how many times I tried to enter that very, well, I call it very long token when I'm trying to recharge my PPM. A number of times I would have pressed send and then we tell me failed, meaning that I have wrongly imputed a digit. So we said, can we do something different from the 20 digit? Can people do straight from their card, from their phone, that's from their bank card, so that you just punch the amount you need. It pops up like we showed, it pops up a gateway, payment gateway, you press in the amount, and then automatically it changes, it converts it to electricity unit and put it straight on your unit. That's also an innovation we have looked at, because we also have listened to people who said, it's a long walk pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 20. So we felt, yes, we can bring this up. And then that we have done. Well, we keep thinking we are a people of innovation. And I will tell you the truth, we are not sleeping. So we'll make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe we have another question from one of our judges.
Thank you. So I'll be really quick. So well done on the presentation. Nice, colorful client app. So I'm interested in the software's self-healing property. So in the event of, say, utility blackout, or cybersecurity issues, what are some of the things that you've been thinking about in terms of self-healing? So in maybe somebody's trying to manipulate some of the data signals and stuff like that. What have you put in place, or what have you been thinking about how to handle that? And then I'm also interested in the distributed nature of your software. I'm sure you've heard about smart meter as a service, where a lot of the feature sets are on the head-end software just to save memory space on the actual devices. So how much of that software, or what's the memory capacity that a meter would require to have your software installed on it, just in case there's a number of resources you need to put on there. Or how much of it is at the head-end software to reduce on the cost of the memory space. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You talked about the security. Okay, I'll mention that. And software, memory space, and resource management. Now, I would like to say that our hardware is actually built, like he said, for minimum interaction. So every processes that the hardware goes through, it's between the hardware and the server. So billings communicated directly to the server. Any physical interaction, maybe like a tamper attempt, is communicated to the server directly. And we build the system to not depend only on internet. So we have also gone a step ahead to develop a protocol that can work with 1G GSM, such that where there is no internet and somebody goes to bypass the hardware, even without the internet, the platform server will still get to know and will still pop up on the dashboard just like we have seen. Okay, so in this event, because the hardware itself is not managing too much data, so it makes the software very light and it can actually run effectively on across platforms of meter. And talking about the security, like I said, the back end is actually deployed on a cloud service, okay? And then security-wise, we've put in place all the in developing the application, the back end, and everything, the protocols. I want to tell you that all the communications are encrypted. Like I said, we developed a protocol that enables big data to be transmitted from our hardware to the platform server. And all these protocols are encrypted. So we develop quantum encryption technology to ensure that that security is there. And for when the data hits or the data lands on the server, the cloud platform provides security, adequate security for, to protect the data. And of course, in implementation of the code, we ensure that all the necessary ICT security implementations, SSL, and every other protocols for security are actually embedded into the system to ensure that data and operations are perfect and secure.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Good afternoon, everyone. And
Good afternoon.
I'm not sure I've got the name of your team clearly, but
Magnetronics.
No, I said, was it Tectonic?
Magnetronics.
Magnetronics. I like that. Again, like everybody said, I'm just going to sound that off, that you are to be commended for what you, the fact that you actually pressed on. You can see that you are fighters and you're ready for this power sector, because it is a lot of fight. And it's going to take a lot for you to get through. And also, I will just commend you for this as well, that, the basis of every business is the solving of a problem. And I like the fact that you took initiative, you went out to an estate, right? And you probably figured that this is a common problem across, the country. And you therefore designed a software solution that would cater to this problem that most people have. But I will also just want to say a few things to you, that it's important that we all know today that meters are split. So that ability for the customer to be away from the meter exists today. So the meter itself is hung up on electric poles, right? And then there's something called the user interface unit, right? Where the customer interacts with that user, that UIU, right? Your software today is sort of some of the things that I've been looking for. I'm a media manufacturer, or rather, a media producer, and we're also, what's called a map. So today we provide these assets to end users, right?
Right.
And so the ability to eliminate, or for us to be able to eliminate that UIU is crucial, right? Because it's cost reduction, right? But then there's another cost, which is on the software side of it. So I'm actually interested in pricing, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about price-wise? Again, I don't know whether you've done, it seems as though this was maybe created prior to or what have you. So what is going to be the cost per user maybe? I don't know whether you all are trying to do this as a software, as a service or as one Slack or what have you. But it's a very important consideration. I'd like you to answer that. The other thing I'd like you to answer is integration with existing meters, right? So if this solution were to be adopted, how would it communicate with meters, right? How would you be able to communicate with the meter? How would you integrate, right, to be able to draw the data or extract the data, right? Was it going to be through what kind of APIs, right? When it comes to data acquisition, you're using different formats to do that, right? So are you interoperable? And I think that's really where we're going with that as well. Are you interoperable? How would you extract the data? And I think and then the fourth question for me is, all utilities today have their vending systems, right? So it's only in estate situations that you're going to see where, you're vending or you're generating tokens per se, right? But most utilities today have their vending system. It's their vault, it's their banking system, right? And I can tell you that in our very, very interesting parts of Nigeria, many people have tried to, and many have set up their own separate vending, meaning aside from the utility, and it's a major energy, rather not energy, but revenue loss, right, for utilities. Okay, so this is a very crucial point to look at, right? In terms of how you would integrate into existing vending systems, and security is crucial because, like I said, many people do hack, their systems. All right. So, okay, I thought that was a signal for my questions, but I hope that's clear, specifically around existing vending systems, how the app will be able to work with the existing vending systems, and also the security. But I think you may have alluded to that earlier in terms of what security, shall I say, things that you put in place.
Thank you very much, Ron. So this will be our last set of questions. So once we get your answers, we'll have that 5-minute tech break, and we'll try as much as possible to keep to time. So Magnetronics, over to you.
All right, thank you so very much. So I will take the first one that asked that talked about the pricing. What is it? So what is the pricing like? So we're saying one, that it's extremely competitive, and we can say it from our researches that it's the cheapest in the market in Nigeria, and it's going to be like that for a very long time. So the cost of it is integrated into the metering unit when someone is taking the metering unit. And then we're saying without the meter, there is no use. That's the software is not going to be of any use to you. So the cost is minute. So we believe that whatever cost will come to us eventually will be coming from people that's from vending and then purchasing of the meter itself. The software is up there, and it's currently in the cloud. We have it in the Google Play Store. You can download it. You download, you have it. So it's really at no cost when you're downloading to have. But then, of course, you won't use it without the meter. So whatever cost that goes into it might be as low as maybe 5,000. It goes into the cost of the meter. So it's cost along with the meter. I hope I answered. Sorry? Sorry, I didn't get that. Oh yes, it's to the customer it's free. Yes, to the customer. That's the customer. Yes, it's free to the customer. As you want to use it. It's one time. It's one time. You have it. You have it to use it. Yes. Okay. So on the integration with the existing meter and the vending platforms. So we'll take it.
Okay. Let me quickly talk about the integration with existing platform. I would like to say that we built this application with a RESTful API service that can be called, that any device, any compatible device can call some of those endpoints to communicate with this platform. And like I said before, Google Cloud Platform and some other cloud platform are standard platform that anybody can build their devices around. And having that in mind, we have also gone ahead to integrate our software platform with this standardized platform so that any hardware that can communicate on this platform or through the standard metering interfaces can actually interpret with our software. And then the vending interplane. Okay, you mentioned that a lot of these schools or energy suppliers have their vending infrastructure or vending systems in place. Now, we are not saying that we are creating something that's completely out of fit for everybody, for what people. So we are not trying to say we are doing away with what they have, but what we have is to complement what they have done. Everybody in Nigeria has a bank account, and everybody or let me say,
quite a number.
Yeah, quite a number of people have a bank account which they can transact easily. So that's why now I'll also mention it's not just through ATM card that you can make this payment. If you can actually do a transfer to an account number that you can also provide, the system will also pick it up and credit your. But for now, the one on the mobile app is the credit card option. But we are also innovating other channels where the customer can also make their payments to the platform and their energy accounts will be credited.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Magnetronics.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Magnetronics. Can you hear me? A warm round of applause for them. I know it hasn't been easy, but that's a competition. Anything can come, and it's tech. There's always some downtime. So we hope that the next set of presentations will go very smoothly, and I'll be back to my accurate timekeeper duties. 10 minutes for presentation, 10 minutes for questions and answers, so that we all leave here at least by 2 p.m. And we'll now have the tech rehearsal with all the 4 teams. We're just testing the URL to make sure that it all plays properly on the screen. And if not, we'll look at using the backdrop. So this is a good time to maybe stretch, and if you need to excuse yourself to take that phone call, you can do that. But in about 5 minutes time, we'll be having the next set of presentations.
Hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. Go bunk killer. This is another Tolio from my man. Make I tell you waiting happen for a bullet. Body's big party inside my bullet. I went there with my best friend Kule they there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule.
I just the one that said which can party, everything yagba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys and they like to throw away. Almost see go be. We just having fun. We won't carry on. Crazy guests like make the stallion. But my girlfriend they turn me on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. Hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, jaja. Hold on tight. Hold on, jaja.
beside me morning and evening. Girl, why you running? No go. All you want is my dodo.
1, 2.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
why you leave me go? See me now, I am solo. Solo. Hey, baby, still your baby.
It's Blaze on the beat, baby.
More music at ninjalubin.com.
I just want love you. I just want love you. I just want love you. I just want love. I just want love. I just want love. I just want to love you. I just want. Go tell all your friends I love them too. I look nice, but I'm not so good. I got something I just wanna prove. Can you get yourself inside my room? Let me take you up. Take you up. Let me take you down. Lay you down. Let me show you up. Show you up. Let me turn you on. Turn you on. Let me show you some good lo 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 lo. Lo 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 lo. Let me show you good lo 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 lo. Let me show you. Go tell all your friends I love them
about
too.
1 minute. We're just getting
I look nice, but I'm not so good.
The tech is looking good.
I got something I just
and
want.
I'm aware that some of our judges are
Can you
really
get
pressed
yourself
for
inside
time.
my room? Let me
So
show
we
you
will
something.
into time. All the microphones
Let
are
me
now
show you
working,
something.
so there won't be any need to touch any of the microphones.
Let me show you something. Something that will take away your sorrow. Let me show you something. Let me show you some good lo 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 lo. Lo 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 lo. Let me show you good lo 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 son lo 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 lo.
Victorians, please get ready. We'll be starting in another 30 seconds. To our honorable judges, our distinguished panel of judges, please note that your microphones are all working now, so there won't be any need to press any button. All you have to do is just lean forward and speak. Also, we would like for you to put your phones on Do Not Disturb or Flight Mode, because this event is being live streamed, so whenever a phone call comes in, it interferes with the transmission. So in the next 20 seconds, we'll be starting. Please, let's all take our seats. I can see that the next team is already here. Please, let's take all our seats.
Music.
And as we're taking our seats,
Shawty says she no come for the
our
money,
distinguished
oh.
panel of judges,
She come for the body, oh.
let's put our phones on Do Not Disturb
The
or
man is
Flight
sweet like a
Mode.
honey, oh.
It's important to avoid any interference because this event is being live streamed. So let's put our phones only to our judges and the members of our high table to put our phones on Do Not Disturb or Flight Mode.
I know you want to be my baby.
Please let's all take our seats. And thank you, DJ. Can we kill the music
I want to be the one to drive you crazy.
Please, let's take our seats. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Thank you very much for understanding and bearing with us as we did our best to sort out all the technical issues. We'll be going for a smooth run, and I'll be very, very strict with the time. So just a few things now that we have some level of silence in the room. Judges and members of our high table, if you could just put your phones on flight mode or do not disturb mode, because even if it's on vibrate or silent, when a phone call comes in, it can interfere with the transmission. Thank you very much. I believe our next team, the second team, they're ready. They are Team Victorians, and you have only 10 minutes for your presentation. 10 minutes. So now that we're all settled, please can we make them feel very welcome by giving them a warm round of applause? Before you start, just very briefly, let us know your name, what you do, where you're from, and go straight into your presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, yes, sorry. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, my name is Drodola Okwemiko. I'm the CEO of Victorian Technologies. So at Victorian Technologies, we are actually on a quest to actually lead in frontier technologies by blurring the line between real life implementation.
Let me move this from here so I can pass it to my shirt.
So what we have here right now, because we've been given the opportunity to debut in this hackathon, and so we would actually like to demo so what we're trying to do with frontier technologies. Sorry, this is not my. Okay. I would like to present now. So I'm waiting for. This is not my application. Sorry. Wait, no, that's not my application. Okay. Okay, yeah, I've seen it. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is stakeholder. Yeah. Okay, let's start. I'll start with subscribers. Okay, yeah. So basically, what we have two types of users. We have the subscribers and we have the stakeholders. Now, for subscribers, it's the basic way to actually get on as a subscriber, which is what we refer to as residents. You need to get a meter that's registered with the disco. Yeah, basically what the idea is, discos already have these meters and they have an inventory of existing meters. So before you can even register on our platform, you need a registered meter, and that's actually how you can start setting up on the platform. Okay, so let's pull this up. Yeah. Okay, so now this here is energy levels, and we're actually taking this data in real time from the meters. Although we don't have a hardware meter, but the expectation is we're actually going to integrate with the hardware that's generating this data. Now, there's something we're doing that is interesting with machine learning. So we're actually trying to understand users' consumption of energy so that we can even predict how users would consume energy on the grid. Now, one of the perks of that is we can easily now optimize how power is being distributed. You can actually compare predictions with actual usage. Now, this is actually one of the ways that it could help in detecting anomalies in the system. Anomalies in the sense that when you realize that the prediction of how a consumer is supposed to use power is deviating totally from how they're actually using data, then you can now start to suspect the user for theft. Okay. So we also using digital assistants to also connect with the system. So basically, we have platforms like we have the mobile app, you have the web app, and you also have digital assistants that you can make use of. So I could actually use my Google Assistant or Alexa to control my smart meter. Let me try to demo that. Okay. He's connected already. Talk to Eko Grid.
All right. test version of Eko Grid.
Turn on my meter.
Hi, how are you doing?
Turn on my meter.
Repeat this. Repeat the command.
It's going to network.
Sorry, Eko Grid isn't responding right now.
Turn on my meter.
Here's a result from search.
Okay, let me try that. Talk to Eko Grid.
Okay, getting the test version of Eko Grid. Good day. What can I do for you today?
Turn on my meter.
Your meter has been disabled. Contact your disco.
Yeah, so what we've done here is the meter has been disabled by the disco. And basically because the person has just probably registered and disco has not enabled the person, or the person has not made payment. And this can also be triggered by maybe when you start to suspect a fraudulent activity on the platform, also, or based on the consumer's usage. You can actually, the disco can automatically shut the meter down. And so for them to actually reactivate that, the person has to get in touch with the disco. So right now we are going to actually we're going to actually now enable that meter back. So let's go to Seko, yeah. Yeah, so device management. Next. It's the last one. Yeah, that's it. You just click on this. So enable on meter. No, I will need the meter. Yeah, now admin and service. Click here. Service. Both. Yeah. Okay, good. Now let's go back to the talk to Eko Grid.
All right, let's get the test version of Eko Grid. Greetings. How can I assist?
I'd like to turn on my meter.
Meter on. Just give me a few seconds. Your meter is now on.
Yes, we'll go back to the meter.
So you have about 2 more minutes.
Refresh it, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So now you can actually see that the meter is part of it. You can also use this same. You can also use it to set an alert on your meter. So like you want to turn off your meter when you've consumed a particular amount of kilowatt. You could use your mobile app, the web app, or even your digital assistant to do that. So one of the interesting things we're doing also with the machine learning is we have this 3D GIS of every single location, and the future work for that is putting a command center in virtual reality, whereby you can actually walk through a virtual world and see places that have lights in real time and places that do not have lights, how frequently they have lights in a particular area. You can basically tell a lot of things that are happening on your grid with that data. Please let's show that. Maps, yeah. I thought we actually had it open. Yeah, so this is move it in 3D. Yeah. So the idea is you can actually walk through it. You can actually see. You can also know the number of areas that you've covered. So if you see a particular area that's not even covered at all, you know, yes, we still need to cover this particular environment that our meters are not yet here. And the idea now is for all the different discos, in as much as they can actually see the regions that they are covered, there would be that's the central admin that's controlling the overall system will have the aggregated data of all that and can actually tell, okay, these are all the areas that have been covered with smart meters. So with this, you can also tell, we can easily walk through the environment there and see the areas, the houses that do not have, that have issues, but probably their meter is not on or they even bypassed it. And so one of the interesting things we're also trying to do is, because I said at Victorian Technologies, we are interested in rapid forward thinking and making it blow the line with our real life implementation. So we're actually researching on blockchain's algorithm, which is actually has to do with consensus. Is a consensus algorithm. That's actually what makes blockchain very special. In as much as it's very expensive to implement a blockchain, the secret is once you actually can implement the consensus algorithm, you'd actually be able to do a lot of interesting stuff. And so we're looking at
I have to stop you. I have to be very, very strict. A warm round of applause for Victorians.
Thank you.
Don't worry, you might have a chance to still talk about this blockchain if one of the judges brings it up in a question. So very quickly, do we have any questions? Please note that all the mics are on, so all you have to do is lean forward and speak. Do we have any questions from our judges?
Okay, all right, yeah. Well done, Victorian Technologies. Okay, so I like all the Alexa style and all that, but how scalable is that? There are several meters out in the system,
Yes.
and several discos have different platforms. So do you is your software on like an AMI platform that can actually, be able to relate with all the meters without downtimes, without issues? Your meter is able to communicate, your software able to allow easy communication across this meter. So even if you're going to be placing, having everybody, well, not everyone is going to be able to. So how are you going to help even the person in the very rural area who is still metered, who doesn't have access to this Alexa style, also be able to communicate with this meter?
So when I say we have different platforms, as much as we have the iOS, we have the Android, we also have a pipeline for USSD code. So even a market woman would also be able to use USSD code for that. And I think you also asked about scaling. So basically, we're actually leveraging on GPUs for the machine learning, and would actually keep doing vertical scaling so that we can optimize how things are being done on the power grid. So it has to do with infrastructure and how much can be pumped into infrastructure. That's what will determine how well we would scale with the software.
Okay, so this software again, let me just quickly ask. It's an app, right?
Sorry, come again?
It's in form of an app.
Yeah, it's an app, yes.
At a cost to the end user.
Not at the cost to the end users. It's basically the people responsible for hosting the app that'll take the responsibility on actually who is more like who they actually the ones covering the cost for the app.
One-off cost, recurring cost.
Yeah, it's going to be a recurring cost. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Don't worry, the microphones are working, so if you want to ask a question, just lean forward.
Okay, now it's brain touches. Okay, so quick one. I just want to know. I saw like an energy map or a heat map there.
Yeah. Yes.
So what exactly were we looking at? What was the information profile?
Yeah, for the heat. Yeah, for the heat map. So
hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just go through it. And then, is there software installed on the meter itself, or you are showing us everything at the head end? And if there is, how much memory would the meter need to store that application?
Well, yeah, so we're not installing anything on the meters.
Okay.
So basically what we've done is we intend to be able to integrate with any meter. And so even from the demos of yesterday, all the meters, I believe since they are all, because everyone said they are all transmitting MQTT, which is the normal thing for IoT devices. So what we're just interested in is, once in the MQTT data, our platform is going to always pull up that heat map. And that heat map shows the frequency of at which areas, certain areas always have lights, at which frequency, at which areas. So another thing that is interesting about that heat map is you can also tell in real time areas that don't have light, but you will still know that they frequently have light because of the height of the histogram of that place. And you can also pull up, one of the things we're still working on is being able to walk through it and touch an Instagram and see the profile of. So basically, imagine you're in a virtual reality world and you're walking through it. You see some abnormalities on Instagram, and you're actually able to flag that, oh, something is wrong here. You can easily, in the virtual world, pull up the details of the occupants. Time, time bound in what sense?
So I'm looking at these people are consuming, say, 2 megawatts in this area.
Yeah.
What period of time?
Oh yeah, so you want to know, if you want to know how people are consuming power, that's a different thing on the subscribers part, because we were actually going to make use of the subscriber data. The subscriber, because we're actually logging how subscribers are using data. We're also using machine learning code to predict how they would use power. Now, if you want to make use of that information, you as the disco can actually see that and can actually tell that, oh, because I also heard something about how you want to balance the what you're supplying and what is being used. So you can also use that information to understand that.
We have time for just one more question. It's working. You just need to lean forward and speak.
Hello. I want to appreciate your effort. You actually done a good job, but I want to find out the software, is it an app or for an hand system? Yes or no, so that I'll have an.
I want to understand your question, sir.
The app, is it app or a full-fledged software for an hand system?
Yes, so it's a full-edged software. Yes, it's a full-edged software. So it has both for the subscribers and for the discos. So this, in as much as it's just one login page, whereby it's only your credentials that can redirect you to what you get to see. So for the subscriber, it's still the same one platform, but that's how we're segregating stakeholders from. And it's also, we also encourage that discos should be able to display their dashboards in command centers where they can get holistic view on what subscribers are doing.
It's okay, right? Okay, I want to present, for instance, to my management report.
Yeah.
If I want to create a report,
yes,
what file do you think I will be able to export the file, CV?
Oh, you mean like CSV?
Excel, or whatever.
Oh, so in as much as we're not doing that right now, if one wants to actually do that, we can all, it's very easy to actually create that. But the idea here is that if anybody wants to generate reports, you can easily go into the system and see things for yourself, how things are working. But it's always very easy to generate a CSV from the data that we are providing or producing from this grid.
Okay, thank you. We have one more question from our virtual judge, and who is joining us via Zoom, and he'll be asking the last question for Team Victorians.
Yes, thank you very much. Hi, Team Victorian. And good job with the presentation. I actually like the fact that you're using, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and also kind of digital assistants. But my question is, we all know that Nigeria is not very high tech when you consider the whole geography of the country. And we all also know that connectivity is a big challenge. So I would like you to tell us, how are you ensuring that regardless of connectivity challenges, right, that you have the redundancy required across different transport protocols to talk to a wide variety of meters, right, on one side. So that's connectivity. On the second side is your whole presentation is about machine learning, right? And being able to then use that to make decisions such as, tamper detection and those types of things. But how do you make this like extra simple to the users? Because everything you speak about happens behind the scenes. But what a disco really wants to see is who is tampering, and to be able to, for the machine to be able to automatically react and come up and find new ways that people are trying to tamper, or compromise the security. So I don't know if you can speak to those two things. And then how do you make money? Your pricing model is also not very clear per subscriber, per device, because that's also very important to ensure it's affordable. Thank you.
Let me start with how we get to reach out to people that have low internet issues. Like I said previously, I said we also providing opportunity to use USSD codes. So I believe a market woman would have probably a Nokia Touchlight phone, and she doesn't necessarily need to have an Alexa or a Google Home. So she can still carry out every feature that the Google Home and Alexa can do with USSD. When I talk about features, I mean like setting an alert, remotely triggering on or off on a meter. And then you talked about the discos. You talked about how are we generating revenue. So I believe we would generate revenue from payments that are being made on the platform. So as people get to, because for our payment, we have integration with our PayStack. So for every single time someone refunds or resubscribes on their meter, you actually get a percentage from that. And also another interesting thing is, so I believe people that are interested in real estate, for example, I want to go on house hunt and I would like to get my house in an area that they always having lights. Now that's where that 3D GIS data comes into, because I can actually, Disco can decide to create a custom account for people that are just interested in that data, and they can log in to that and see that data and say, okay, I think I would like to get a house in so area. That's because they are doing well on data. Data speaks for itself. You can actually see how often they have lights here. If people are really interested in real estate and they want to get land in certain areas, they can always, even for folks, for areas that have not even been touched at all. Someone interested in real estate can just decide, okay, I would like to invest in energy and I would like to cover this area. It kind of creates opportunity for business partners, more people interested in partnering with the discos and distribution companies.
Thank you very much. One round of applause for Team Victorians. We have 3 more teams. We have Team Xena Platform, Team Gideon, and Team Chosen Soft Tech. So Team Xena Platform, please get ready for your presentation. Remember, 10 minutes alone for the presentation and 10 minutes for questions and answers. Thank you very much to all our judges for your patience, and we promise that we'll manage the time better. But now's a good time as the team gets ready to share your feedback, your comments on social media, our audience. Let's have your views on how the thing has been going so far. Are you impressed with the presentations from Team Magnetronics, Team Victorians? Who do you think so far would go away with that prize money, which stands at 8 million naira? So let's remember to also start tabulating our scores, our judges. And I believe in another 30 seconds or so, we'll have Team Xena Platform. I believe they're just miking them to come for their presentation. Remember that the Lagos Smart Meter Hackathon is brought to you by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources in Lagos State. They are our title sponsors, and we're the home of our diamond sponsors. Our diamond sponsor, I beg your pardon, Access Bank PLC. So I believe Team Xena Platform, are you ready? A warm round of applause for Team Xena Platform. I think we can do better. Thank you. Before you start, just briefly introduce yourself, how you got into tech, what you do, and go straight into the presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oroluwa Olafemi, and with me here is Adenitere Ayomiko. So today we're going to be presenting to you our software, which is our web application. So our web application has been designed in such a way that it can communicate with any smart meter that has been given to us based on the communication protocol that the meter has been built with. So the meter that we were working with is working with a a communication protocol called WebSocket. Now, WebSocket is a bidirectional communication protocol, which means that you can send and receive information at the same time. This is the same communication protocol used by companies that develop apps like WhatsApp and Telegram. So they can make video calls, conference calls, and because that communication protocol has a high quality of service, we use that same communication protocol to develop our web application. So one more thing that we also introduced into our web application is a kind of blockchain system where for every token generated, it is encrypted in such a way that once a token is being purchased, it is done in such a way that it's going to add the date it was purchased, it's going to add the time, and also the meter ID so that nobody can just use the token just anyhow. So I'm going to be calling on Ayomiko Adenitere to talk on the 3 different types of subscribers that was told to us to include in our web application. So Ayomiko Adenitere.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ore. My name is Ayincha Amikun Joseph. I'm a web software developer with a 3 years working experience. During this hackathon, we are seeing the software specification in which we need to follow in the development. So after we have received the document, I and my team sat down together to deliberate on how we're going to carry it out. And during development, we are able to come up with some tech stacks that we use that are being used in some of the high-tech companies, example like Google, in which we are able to use Python and Django for the web app development. And like my colleague has said, WebSocket for the communication between the smart meter and our web app. So I'll walk you through the password.
The password, please. The laptop is locked.
It's locked.
Okay, let's reposition since.
So on the system, we have 3 users. We have the administrators, in which in real life scenario, they are the government agency that will be controlling all the activities of the system. And also we have the stakeholder, which can be an agency like the Eko Electric and Ikeja Electric. And we have the users, which are the subscriber, which can be the landlord or a real estate agency. And also during the development, we were able to come up with another user, in which during the presentation, I will show you. So, Mr. Can you please log into the administrative part?
Projects. Just a minute.
So as you can see on the screen, the administrative part, we have the total number of subscribers, total number of stakeholders in which will be created by the government agency, and we have the total number of meter in circulation. So the dashboard, I'm talking about the dashboard.
Okay. Okay.
So we have the total number of meters in circulation, in which the government agency will know the total number of meters being created by all the stakeholders, and we have the total number of total amount of money that we generate on the system, and we have the number of tariffs. So we can go to the stakeholders so that I can demonstrate how to show. So in order to create a stakeholder, since they are the one that will create the stakeholder, they will click the create stakeholder. So on this create stakeholder, they will supply the company, which can be Ikeja Electric, any. And they will supply the email, the phone number, the local government area in which the stakeholder will be managing, and they will need to supply the address. After the creation of the stakeholder, there will be an authentication to notify the stakeholder that an account has been created for them by the government agency. So, Mr. Rick. So actually, during the testing, we have already created some stakeholders on the system. That is why you can just go to the stakeholder part. Actually, all this validation is just to make sure that the duplicate of the data, data are not duplicated on the system. So a new stakeholder has been created, which is the So after creating the stakeholder, an email will be sent to them, which they will be able to authenticate it. After the authentication, so the function that they can perform on the stakeholder is the common agent can edit the stakeholder, they can view the dashboard. So this is the dashboard of the stakeholder that we have created, which is electric, in which he has one subscriber. They were able to see all the information pertaining to the stakeholder, in which they have the total subscribers on their platform. They have the total meter they have already supplied, and they will know the total income they have generated on the system. The table below shows the information of the subscriber that the stakeholders have created. And the third part is the tariff, in which the government agency will be able to monitor and regulate the tariff that will be used on the various meters. And all this tariff can be created only from the administrative part, and which when being created, it will be populated to all the stakeholders that is being created on the system, in which I will create one here. I'll create, let me say, premium package. And they will need to specify the kilowatt hour they will need to be charging, maybe 100. And they will need to enable, once they enable it, it will be shown on all the stakeholders platform. But if they disable it, it won't populate to all the stakeholders accounts. But I will need to enable it so that whenever I'm in the stakeholder dashboard, they will be able to use it to create. So
Please note you have 2 more minutes.
So I'll quickly log into the stakeholder accounts now.
Open the sticky note. Okay. Okay, so the password is Xena 12344. Xena. No, Z-E-E-N-A. Z-E-E-N-A. Let me type it. Stakeholder official. Is there a way we can connect the hard drive? Let me just disconnect it. Disconnect the HDMI.
So now this is the stakeholder we have already created, in which it asks for subscribers, the meter that is currently active, that is being connected to the system, and the one that is not active, and the total transaction they have made, the total income they have generated. And on the same platform, they were able to see the meter currently online. Once a meter connects to the server, they'll be able to see the total number of meter that is currently online, and they also be able to know the total number of meter that are not online. And also, so this is the meter readings. This meter shows that it's currently online. Why we design like that? We want to use that to have the feel of physical meter on the same platform. So if you notice, there is a blinking indicator on the meter, which currently shows that it is online. And they can also, and there is a real-time reading on the system, which shows the power, the voltage, the current, the frequency, the energy, and the total cost of usage based on what they are being used. And also, if you notice there is a quick notification that meter disconnected, actually we have the smart meter downstairs in which all these data are coming down and coming through it, and they are all in real life. So that is what they are all in real time. That's why I say we make use of WebSocket, which is a quick real-time notification on all the activities that is going on.
Thank you very much, Team Xena Platform. A round of applause for their presentation. I'm going to give 10 minutes to the judges for questions. Do we have any questions to our online judge as well? Do we have any questions for our judges who are here with us physically? If you do have a question, please lean into your microphone and.
Thank you very much, Madam. Xena platform, you've done well. But I want to ask a question when it comes to your database backend. Can you handle large volume of data, and how do you care to manage data loss?
Okay, do you want to take it? Yes. On current, how we manage the data on the current system is we use the MySQL database for the storing of the data, and the way we build our system is we train it on the data. So, and we also manage how it's being how it's coming directly from the meter. So once it comes, we process it and we check it based on what they have used before, in order to just suppose what is going to be displayed. And
Sorry, sir. In addition to what he said concerning the data loss, the WebSocket communication is bidirectional. So a lot of data is sent and received a lot of times. So we have a database that is storing the data as it's being transferred from the meter to the server. So there will be a very low probability of data loss during communication.
Thank you. You had mentioned that your tokenization is blockchain based, right?
Yes.
What ledger did you develop that on? Also, what level of control does the subscriber have in managing his supply and devices in the house? So just talk me through that.
actually, the ledger in the platform that we want to use for the blockchain is Oracle, because during the process we were making research and we come about the Oracle platform in which we make an inquiry on how to use it, and they were able to attend to what work us through on how to use it very well. And on how the subscriber will be able to manage their the token. So once they make the system has postpaid and prepaid. So on tokens being generated only for the prepaid. So on their dashboard, they will have a place where they can generate the token. But the process is they first of all pay. After the payment, then they will generate the token based on the amount of money they paid. And after that, then the token will be displayed to them on the dashboard, which they will use it to activate the meter in case maybe the meter is turned on there's no power on the system on the meter again.
A subscriber has control over their supply.
It does.
It does.
Yes.
So I'm going away, I can turn off my
power.
Yes.
Actually, we're supposed to show you, but since they said our time, we're supposed to show you the customer. And the last part that we said we were going that we are able to bring into the system is our system can accommodate a subscriber to have a lot of meters on the system. They have a lot of meters on the system, and in real life, if a subscriber has a lot of buildings and it can't be working on the system every time, so you can delegate a part of it to the tenant. So the tenant can also log in and also make payments for the building that he's using in that subscriber's house.
I believe we have one more question.
Right. Disco tariff is an issue, and we want to do it real time with smart meters to change tariff. All right. Your software, is there provision for that to broadcast over the air? There are two different things I want to talk about tariff now. Tariff in terms of the price, and tariff in terms of changing tariff. Changing tariff means, from commercial to whatever, to residential. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So is there any provision for, your software to do that over the air and broadcast?
Yes. On the administrative dashboard, that is what I showed you. I think on the administrative dashboard, they have tariff part of it in which
price cannot change.
Okay, sir.
Which one?
Okay, so at the beginning of the presentation, there was actually a part on the administrative dashboard where you could actually create a tariff and change the tariff at will. So that is the control of the admin. So if you're an admin, sir, you can create any type of tariff you want, and you can also change the tariff rates in the best way you can. Yes, sir.
I believe that answers your question, sir. Okay, in the absence of any more questions, please put your hands together for Team Xena platform. The next team to present will be Team Gideon. They are an ultimate team, and then the chosen soft tech. So I believe they'll be miking up now. So this is a good time for our judges to collate some of their results. And a big thank you to everyone who has stayed with us. Some of you as early as 10 a.m., 9:30, and you're still here with us. We'll do our possible best to be out of here before 2 p.m., hopefully, or 2 p.m. at the most. So far, we've had 3 teams present: Team Magnetronics, Team Victorians, and Team Xena platform. All 3 teams are competing in the software category. Yesterday was the turn of the hardware participants, and I believe Team Gideon is making their way. So please, let's put our hands together for them as they come to deliver their presentation. A round of applause for Team Gideon.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lawal Oluwatimilei, and with me is Oriwole Rahman. Now, in building these softwares, we only had 2 things in mind: simplicity and usage. Okay, what is password? The system is locked.
As you work with the system, you can introduce yourself. I'm sure someone will be coming to put in the password. So let's get to meet you.
My name is Rahman Oriwole.
And what do you do?
I'm a software developer, a full stack software developer.
And you?
I'm also a software developer.
So both of you are software developers.
Dashboard first. Okay. Good afternoon once again. My name is Lawal Oluwatimilei, and with me is Oriwole Rahman. Building these softwares, we only had 2 things in mind: simplicity and usage. Now, in the admin, we are going to go straight to the demo. In the admin, we have an admin dashboard. Okay, an admin dashboard. Sorry, the screen.
I believe we need some technical assistance so we can see what's on the screen. Sorry, what's on the laptop. So that's been resolved now. Thank you.
The features. Okay, the features on the admin dashboard, we have a super admin. The super admin has the ability to manage other admins. The super admin can view other admins. Here we can see other admin. You can click on manage other admin. Other admins are stakeholders that are also on the platform with different access. Manage access. So under manage access, you can see the access the particular admin has. You can see, go back. You can see, so the account, meter account has been subscribed on the platform. Okay, you can view geolocations of the meters they have on a map. And you can see important informations too, like how many installations of meter they've done in the recent months, number of subscribers they have, how many are active. Then you can add a new stakeholder. We have divided into four main categories, but you can limit the category on each admin. A super admin has the overall access. I'll come back to the breakdown of other admins. So we can, a stakeholder can add a subscriber account, a meter ID, the phone number of the user, and the address, their details on the platform. Okay, and the super admin can see geolocation of all meters. They can also set billing rates. So here, under billing rates, the current billing rates just for the demo, we had 500 Naira. So we'll quickly go to the user page. We're going to log in and try to make a payment. So on the user page, you can see different metrics, the current rates, the amount of units the person has. You can switch on and switch off his meter from here. This will be sent to the data. So we are going to make payments here. Okay, buy electricity, we are going to make payment. I currently work for a company called Coin Profile, and we are in talks with them they've actually agreed to actually help us add a blockchain API to the platform when the platform goes live. So currently we are going to pay with Flutterwave Test card. Okay, on successful transaction using the smart card, the current unit will be added to the device. Like, let's say the current unit is 500 Naira for 1 unit. If the unit is updated and person already has 1 unit in his platform, it's not going to change. It's going to bill him for the next time he wants to buy a new electricity.
Yeah. Okay. We can just move on, right?
Okay. This Flutterwave test card. So that's for setting billing rate. And on the platform, on the user dashboard, you can also set the limit. Let's say you want to be getting notification of, okay, maybe when I have 1 unit, I want to get notification so that I can recharge my account. After the payments, we're going to show that immediately. Okay. So on the dashboard.
Set limit, right?
Okay, set payment. So, yes, set unit. So on this page, you can set the limit when you want to get the notification for another recharge. Okay, it's going to do that.
Okay,
to just set another limit. And we can view different metrics on this platform, payment, the time duration where you have electricity. Now, as much as we are seeing that there's internet penetration, but the majority of people in Nigeria still don't have internet access. So we thought would they be left out? I know I'm the stress I go through when I want to help my mom to pay for an electric bill. So with that, I thought this is even solving the solution for me. So we came up with a USSD solution. Our platform we can create APIs where great companies like Access Bank, for instance, can facilitate payments for electricity and it will be on the meter. So we are going to show you our USSD solution. We are using African stocking. They allow you to, it's a sandbox for USSD. So one of the things we thought of when we were creating this platform was inclusiveness, something that everybody can use. Not everybody has a smartphone, so we have USSD so that you can make payments, switch off your meter, switch on your meter, and check your current balance. So this is a sandbox. It's trying to process. Okay, so you can see here that the first, you can check your balance if you click on 1, and 2, the current state of your meter can change. So the person has that amount, 7,000. We bought electricity, so it's going to switch off. And if we go back to the admin side, you'll see the meter would have been switched off. So then you can buy electricity. We were unable to get a payment gateway because of the requirements. It was during the time of the hackathon, but we want to show that we can even build more complex things with the USSD and the meter. Now, we can also, on our platform, we have access to API for further development. We know that people come up with new ideas, so we can release APIs for stakeholders that don't want to use the admin dashboard, and we can allow for entrepreneurs or also innovative people to be able to access it and build other innovative platform on the same system.
Team Gideon, you have 2 more minutes.
Okay, one of the things we also considered when building this is security. So when we were security, scaling, and compatibility with IoT. Security, we are using Google Cloud Core to safely, all the platform was built on Google Firebase. Everything was built on Google Firebase. We are going to use Google Firestore plus Google, to connect together all the platforms. So Google Cloud Core will be connected to the meters. Then Google Cloud Core will be connected to the meters and will be transmitted. And because we are building all our solutions on Google, things like analytics, machine learning, AI, we can infer more because we understand that it's a process of innovation. We can't solve all the problem once, and there will be room for growth. Thank you very much, Sazama.
Thank you very much. A warm round of applause for Team Gideon. So we have about 5 to 10 minutes for questions. Do we have any questions? If we do, please let's lean into our mics and just speak.
Yes.
Team Gideon.
Yes. Okay. For the payments part, we'll be partnering with banks and already existing platform. The platform won't be the one. It's just be processing. They'll be the one processing the money, just like the normal USSD transfer you do. So from that part of payment, go back to the USSD. We didn't include payments. We didn't include the part where you make payments. So let's, for example, Access Bank can add the API to your bank USSD and call that I want to make payment on my meter, then it will update it through that. So, yes. Yes. And on security, Google is one of the most secure platforms too. And also we are from Ibadan, but only two of us could come. One of the people that consulted for this project is a certified cybersecurity and certified in cybersecurity. So.
Do we have any more questions for Team Gideon?
Yes. I liked the presentation. I liked the fact that it's pretty friendly. But I need that confirmation because, like I said with the previous guys before you, there's
Okay.
that managing meters from different vendors
Okay.
easily.
Okay.
What we've seen with quite a few of the softwares available, and I think Eko can clarify to this,
Okay.
is that downtime problem that we usually have.
Okay.
You know, where when all the meters are all coming together and trying to communicate,
Okay.
there's that issue and downtime,
Okay.
and then when that happens, that just stalls everything.
Okay.
So how friendly, I can see all that, but
Okay.
there's that need to tell us how friendly
Okay.
that can be.
One of the things we considered was actually that, and we looked at all the options available. Not to say that other options are bad, but one of the best device managers is Google Cloud Core. So that's why we picked Google Cloud Core in case of security. And when the device is connected to Google Cloud Core, Google is one of the biggest companies in tech. The device is going to be secure on the platform. And the time of downtime, when the device, during the time when the device may have been hacked before connecting back to our cloud, when the information on the cloud at that time does not correlate, it will check and update it back. And with that, we can even, okay, one of the things on our dashboard I forgot was detect, you can switch off the meter in case of things like fraud. Now, we understand that one of the problems in the electricity sector is people looping. Now, we can, with our software, we can know the amount of electricity that was consumed. Google helps us aggregate all those data on their platform. And you can say that, okay, we distributed this amount of electricity to this area, but we are getting this. So with that, you can say that, okay, if we go to this area and check, we can actually know that people are looping there. So
what you're saying, it helps in the
yes.
commercial losses.
Yes, and also in customer behavior, Google provides for analytics. Okay, when do people pay for electricity? When should the companies push for adverts? When should, how do people find this button friendly? One of the things we understand is that we can't have all the solutions once. Sorry. We can't have all the solution once, but there will be room for more development. With analytics, you can know that this is what is working and this is what is not working. So, and also in terms of scaling, we understand that Lagos State is a populated state, and we are estimating that up to 1 million might even be connected, their meters might be connected to this platform. That is one of the reasons we also choose. Google was the best option for us when we were looking at the best platform to actually pick, that we won't have to worry a lot. Not that I'm an evangelist for Google, but they were just the best case.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. I believe we have, okay, 2 more questions.
Okay, just a quick one. So I'm curious, how many resources from Google are you using?
Okay, and the cost?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what parts of the feature sets,
okay,
resources did you develop on?
Okay, what parts of
the feature sets, the features and the so for instance, Google provides, you are using Google's proprietary AI engine, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one feature set.
Okay.
So what other resources are you using from the cloud platform? Yeah, and how much is it costing you on a month-to-month basis?
Okay, currently, we are only using their Firebase store because we just created the prototype. But we know we are going to move to their, sorry, oh my phone. I want to remember the name. They have a more robust database when you are becoming bigger. Yeah, Big Table, thank you. Big Table. And most of the analytics itself is done on Firestore. We just take the information and process it ourselves, actually. We take the information and process it ourselves. And one good thing is that it is per use. Google does not charge you like you just buy a space, cloud space, or but Google charges you as you use, and the amount of information we are really processing are not going to be. They are going to be costly. Let me say costly. They are going to be much, but it's going to be affordable. So that's it.
Most of the questions along the way. So I'm just going to ask you to summarize what's it called? The possible a summary of what's it called? The remote load control functions. Maybe you didn't have much time to present. You could tell us basic functions that you should be able to. It's a smart meter and it's a smart system as well. So
Okay.
what are the basic functions that this should be able to do?
Okay.
Primarily, and then secondly is I know that this is both a VEN system as well as an energy management system as well. So
okay.
What are the data sets that we are looking to be able to get from the meters?
Okay.
The possible data sets, and then what's the capacity of data that we can receive from these meters, and for how what's the what's the size of data per meter? Maybe you're going to be restricting. You said that you're going to host this on Google, and then there's a cost to the number of data that you process per time. So are you saying there's restriction to this? Or
okay.
That's one. Second, the other one is the interoperability. What about the existing meters? How do you plan to bring them on board?
Okay.
And meters that are not using your current protocols.
Okay. Okay. The data of the information we'll be getting through the endpoints of the meters will include their geolocation, the current of the amount of current they are taking per time, the time they are on. You can actually know what you can through your meter. You can know if there's power on your meter by just dialing the USSD. So we are going to be taking that. And majority of the processing, because we understand that this IoT device, so as not to make it complicated, most of the heavy loads will be done on the cloud. So the only thing we understand that some data we have to be retained on the device in terms of maybe internet is off, or we don't understand. Internet is off or something like that. So, what's the second question? Okay. For the existing meters, I feel it's focused more on the people that develop the hardware to maybe take the ones that are existing back and find a way to add a level of connectivity to the cloud to it, because there's no way, except like Apple does, that they will take your phone and give you, I don't know if there's a way that they can actually pick it up and add IoT to it. I don't know.
LMS COSM protocol already.
Okay.
I thought aside using whatever you have, your system could equally accommodate that as well.
Okay.
So meters can talk to any system. The DLMS COSM also use the IEC standard as well. So
okay.
It's already like an open protocol that I feel you can equally accommodate to each existing meters as well.
All right.
Thank you very much. A warm round of applause for Team Gideon. I believe you've left something behind, Team Gideon. So our next team is Team Chosen Soft Tech. And we're coming to the very end of day 2 of the Lagos Smart Meter Hackathon. There's a phone here. I'm not sure. Does it belong to any of you? Team Gideon. So we'll just set up the tech and make sure we're ready for our final presentation. Remember, a total sum of 8 million naira prize money is up for grabs. There are also consolation prizes. This prize money will be shared between the winners of the software category and the hardware category. Yesterday, day 1, We had the 5 teams who made it to the finals compete in the hardware category. And today is the turn of the software participants. And so far we've had Team Magnetronics, Team Victorians, Team Xena Platform, Team Gideon, and very soon Team Chosen Soft Tech will be presenting. And the decision on who takes away that grand prize money lies solely on the shoulders of the judges. They're carrying that heavy burden because yesterday there were really great presentations and today they've also done excellently. And yesterday, because the participants did such a good job, the prize money went up from 7 million to 8 million. And I said earlier, who knows, it might go up again. So just keep watching. I believe Team's Chosen Soft Tech is here. Let's give them a warm round of applause. You have 10 minutes for your presentation and you'll answer questions. Well, please start by introducing yourselves, tell us what you do, and go straight into the presentation.
Good afternoon. We are Chosen Soft Tech. So we are software engineer and we are here to present a solution that is very efficient, affordable, and put in place every necessary things to get the job done. So we integrated with the cloud, IoT. We make sure the security of the system is very, very intact. And this solution is one of the best prototype, and we are here to prove everything I'm saying. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, you have to just log in to get the URL. Is it? Hmm?
Will you be requiring any assistance?
No.
Okay, could the IT team display what's on the system? On the screens, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Continue.
Wait. Okay. All right. We have our landing page for choosing soft tech. We have 3 users on the account on the system. So right here we have the landing page. The administrator can log in, subscribers can log in, stakeholders can also log in, and we have a mobile application too. So for the stakeholder can create account for the subscriber on the dashboard. Once you log into the dashboard, it creates account for the stakeholders, for the subscribers, and also adds device. You can add device for subscriber right there on the stakeholders dashboard. Once you add a device, you can add an account. This is the dashboard for the stakeholder. So once you log in, you have all this. This shows you the report generated. That's the total monthly money made, which can be calculated. That's the total sum up. And also this one shows you the list of subscribers and also the list of devices under a particular stakeholder. Now you have under list of subscribers, you can add a new subscriber. This is the form for creating a subscriber. And once you fill the form, you can an email will be generated, which will be sent to the user's email. That's the subscriber's email. From there, where he clicks in to log in. And once that is done, that device will be added from the device page. Here are a list of devices that are already created for a particular subscriber. These are some subscribers. These are devices that have been created. Now, for you to this device creates telemetries, which is what we use in making calculations to know the voltage generated, to know the readings that have been generated. And here we are using Microsoft Azure.
Just continue, okay. Continue.
So we are using Microsoft Azure to generate these data that we are using to know the reading from the meters whenever the user on the system. So now, once you click, once you get
Continue.
Yeah. No, wait.
Let me present.
So right here we have your billing. Under the billing, these are data that are already generated for a particular device. This device ID is Smart Meter version 12. As we can see from the readings, we have energy readings, voltage readings, power readings, connection status, and the usage date. For a particular device, these are the data that are being generated. And it's based on this data we can use to create the billing for that particular subscriber based on this device. Now, also, we have the platform for the tariff. You can create your tariff and you can also edit it based on every subscriber. It's based on the login of the subscriber. Now, for the login of the subscriber, the subscriber can make payments from his end. This one is only for the stakeholder. Now, for the subscriber, you need to log in as a subscriber. Okay. You log in as a subscriber and you can check meter usage. You can make payments of whatever is being consumed online using this platform. Also, you can check the billing that you have. So you can check billing and make payments. So now, for this user, payment has been made. You can check meter usage here.
You can check meter usage.
So, and you can switch on or switch off your device. To switch on a device, once you click, the device is being turned on, and you can also turn off your device. Then also you can set off your notification limit based on this same device. Now, so once you've set your device your limit, notification limit. That's the limit that maybe, for instance, you want to be getting alert anytime maybe you've reached a particular limit. Once you set it from here, it sets it automatically and it sends you an email as a reminder to you whenever the limit has been less than what is being set. So
Team
on this,
Chosen Soft Tech, please remember you have 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes, okay. Let's log into this. Okay. If you want to create an account, maybe for an administrator, for a stakeholder, you log in from this end.
So please let me just brush through everything we are trying to do here. And we should round up. So the stake.
Do that in 1 minute.
Okay. So this system is actually divided into 3 users. We have the admin, we have the stakeholder, and the subscribers. So the stakeholders has the opportunity to perform all these functionalities which are working effectively. But because of time, we won't be able to show every audio functionalities. So the stakeholder can create a subscriber, manage devices, create billing for the subscribers, make payments, and also view tariffs of all the subscribers and upload files. The upload files is that the IoT generates a JSON file whereby it calculates the meter usage, the energy consumed. So by end of each day, you have to come to this system and upload it. So the system make use of this file to calculate everything it needs to process the data. So that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A warm round of applause for Team Chosen Soft Tech. So now it's time for questions. And if we have any questions, let's just lean forward into the mic and ask our questions.
Hello. Well done, Team Soft Tech. I don't think you mentioned the platform you wrote.
The platform we use. Yeah, Microsoft as well.
Okay. What language? What language?
We use .NET. .NET.
Okay,
.NET. .NET Core. .NET Core. C#.
Okay. So what? Sorry, I lost track of my question here. I'll circle back.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Do we have any more questions? Maybe from our online judge? Any questions? If we do, please let's lean into the mic and ask. While we wait for our judge to circle back.
Communication with the meter itself. What are you looking at? Is it GPRS or some other communication? Because I think everyone has spoken and there's really no precise. Everything is about just IoT direct to the meter. So we're trying to look for cost effectiveness. We're probably looking at if you're deploying meters in clusters, what type of what's it called? Communication types are you going to deploy? If you use Wi-Fi solutions, Bluetooth solutions, where you have multiple meters, they communicate to a device and then they all send their data to the system. I think this the system guys should be able to also talk about how this works. So your backend system works via GPRS, and then they talk via the internet. using a client mode or a server mode method. But on the meter side, what other consideration are you looking at? Can this work via a DCU, a data concentrator, pushing data to the system? Just want to clarify.
Okay. Based on the meter itself, once these data are created, we can store them inside the database, inside our system, instead of using the cloud to cut cost, as you said. But at the end of the day, we still need to revamp the system to accommodate for that through web APIs. And also, when we look at the issue of concentration of those systems at those clock stars which you mentioned, for me, it depends on how these systems are being wired. What I mean is that it depends on how these systems, the devices we use to wire the system, that's what we determine how it's going to send its data. So.
Trying to, what's it called, ask you if equally support that. That means you didn't apply for the hardware session, right?
No, you didn't.
This is strictly software.
How much control does the customer have with your software?
Okay, we have to show you the dashboard.
Just quickly, just 1 minute.
Yes. So I have to first log in as a subscriber first. So I have a subscriber already.
Or what do you use for your AI engine? Is it on Azure as well, or
Yes.
you use another proprietary? So that's what's the name of Microsoft's BI?
That's Microsoft Azure. That's
trying to remember the name of the Power BI.
Power BI, yes, for the data generation.
So these are the functionalities the subscriber can do. One of them is to check the meter usage. So checks the meter usage. You can pay. So you can make payments. We integrated with a payment gateway. So you can make payments. You can turn on and off the devices remotely. You can also set notifications limits. So you can say, okay, let's say you've made a meter, as you've paid for 150 kilowatts, and you want to tell the MC system that, okay, once it is 50, notify me. So it will always do that once it is less than 50. So to inform you that, okay, your payment is, your meter is almost, so that you'll be able to buy another one. So these are the functionalities. And we also have the mobile app also that contains the same functionalities. So I think that's it.
Thank you very much. I believe we have a question from our online judge, and that will be our last and final question.
Okay, good job, team. I think your presentation was, quite detailed. But really, my question is, a lot of times when folks are building software systems, you're thinking 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters. But really, when we're thinking about solutions that will scale in a large country like Nigeria, scale is something that, people don't think about so much. So what's the architecture of your data storage, right? What's your architecture for your data storage? Like if you have, 5 million meters, 10 million meters, what are your assumptions in terms of data captured, hourly or every 15 minutes or every minute? and how does that scale, right? Also keeping in mind that storing the data is one thing, but disaster recovery is something else. So you must also think about, backups and backups when you're talking about mission critical systems. So if you can speak to, data storage, capacity planning, and scale, that will be useful.
Okay, the way the system is designed is that you can actually use any type of storage that you want. Currently, we are using SQL Server. So you can decide to, switch from my SQL Server to MongoDB. But to cater for large scale storage, what we would want to use, we have to use something called a cloud storage like Amazon, so that, because cloud is that any data you are putting there, it's automatically enlarged. Understand? It's automatically enlarged to fit in the data. So for this solution, for us to cater for that kind of scenario, we'll use something called cloud storage. I think by that solve the problem. But the way the MC system is actually designed is that we can actually switch in database, because we use what we call dependency injection. So we can actually switch in from my SQL to MongoDB to cloud database, anyone we want to. But to cater for large scenarios, we would love to use a cloud storage, because cloud storage is that the more the data, it has to enlarge its capacity to fit in the data that is receiving.
And in addition to what he just said, on Microsoft Azure, we have data lake analytics that helps to store data. So far the data is not being used immediately. That service stores data pending maybe when you need it for a long time. It's a service basically majorly for data storage, so it can cater for a lot of data.
So the main solution is that we are using the cloud to cater for our progressive data usage.
Thank you very much, Team Chosen Soft Tech. A warm round of applause for them. Well done on that presentation. And thank you very much for staying with us till the very, very end. So will it be Team Magnetronics? Will it be Team Victorians? Team Xena Platform, Team Gideon, or Team Chosen Soft Tech? Well, whoever is winning will be decided by the judges, who I believe now are collating their results, and they will still have a session to just agree. And one of our judges was so impressed, just like yesterday, a judge was so impressed with the quality of presentations that he dipped his hand into his pocket and he decided to bring out some virtual prize money, not the actual cash, and added 1 million naira. So yesterday it went from 7 million to 8 million. And maybe you'll call me a prophetess because I said, who knows, today it might go up again. So a big, big thank you to Mr. Bumi Akinyemiju, the CEO of Venture Garden Group, who has joined us via Zoom. He too has dipped his hand in his pocket and has decided to add 1 million naira to the prize money. So now we're at 9 million naira, and that goes to show just the amount of local talent, the ingenuity, the creativity, the hard work, and the passion. So thank you very much. And on that note, it's a big, big thank you to all our sponsors, our diamond sponsor, Access Bank, who have hosted us here today. Our gold sponsor, El Swede Electric, Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company, Egbin Power PLC, Venture Garden Group. Our silver sponsors, Eko Electricity Distribution Company, Momas Electricity Meters Manufacturing Company Limited, Mojek International, InfraCredit, Royal Power and Energy Limited, and Accela Limited. A big, big thank you. A warm round of applause for our sponsors. And finally, our partners, Accelerate TV, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, Oracle for Startups, Business Day, Lagos State Office of Transformation, Creativity and Innovation, IBM, General Electric, Africa FinTech Foundry, and Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency. Please put your hands together for them. And please let's note the Lagos Smart Meter Hackathon continues tomorrow, and that's our final day, day 3. That's when we'll know who goes home with that whopping grand prize of 9 million naira, which will be split between the hardware and software teams. And this event is brought to you by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Lagos State, who are our title sponsors. We say a big thank you. It's always good to see government collaborating with private sector. And on that note, I say a big thank you to everyone who has joined us physically and virtually. And I say good afternoon. My name is Isabella Akinshare, and it's been my pleasure hosting you this afternoon. Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow at the prize ceremony at Eko Innovation Centre. So that's our day 3 of the Lagos Smart Meter Hackathon. And good luck to all the participants, and a very heavy task for our judges to come up with the winners, but I know that they will have no problems in deciding the eventual winners. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you again tomorrow at Eko Innovation Centre. Have a good afternoon.
Funny, take it slow. Do you wanna wait for the door? I'm a rock star, yes, you know. When I enter, they go down low. Yeah, Caro, I need pass claro. You a diva, yes, I know. It be you who I'm talking to. No. Give me loving, no more. 'Cause I'm loyal, 'cause I'm loyal.